What's good, everybody? Welcome back to WAC First Strike. And as you see, it's not just me by myself and it's not just Chris. We got some brand new faces here. We got some lovely ladies with us and some legendary ladies with us. So first, we got to start off with Coach Gordon. You probably already know her. Hall of Famer, 4-time All-SEC first team selection, 2-time Kodak and Naismith All-American, 2-time NCAA champion, gold medalist, all that good stuff. But we cannot forget about starting point guard Tahnyjia Purifoy.
5-foot dog out of Pensacola, man.
5-foot dog, trying to tell you. Top 10
One of these
scoring.
teams, leaders, you know, starting point guard for the Raptors, we have Tahnyjia Purifoy.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Top 10 in scoring and top 3 in assists. We cannot leave her out. That's why we had to
leave
bring
her
her
out
on
in
the show.
defense too. She like top 5 in steals too.
Oh, don't forget about that. Don't forget about that. So first off, I gotta ask, how y'all doing? I know I really appreciate y'all taking y'all time. Just came from practice, getting that work in, headed up against a big matchup, or headed into a big matchup against Bethune to end off the season.
Yeah.
We're doing good. I'm doing good myself, and I'll say Tahnyjia is doing a great job. As y'all said, you hear all her accolades already. We're looking forward to it's rival week. Cookman coming to town. There's a possibility when we kick their butt on Thursday that we can play them again on Tuesday at the SWAC tournament in the ATL. So we're hoping everybody can come out at 5 o'clock. I know it's an early start. It's a doubleheader, but my ladies deserve for Al Lawson to be packed. It's rival. It's Cookman. So we want everybody to come out and support.
And then nobody doing nothing on the next day. You could pop out. You already know.
Yeah, come on.
So T, I gotta ask you this.
Right.
As a player, what do these types of rivalry games mean to you, especially coming towards the end of the season, headed into tournament play?
I think it sets us up for tournament play. And just what you said, it's a rivalry. Go big or go home. Like, this means more than just SWAC play. So, and I think it's bigger than us, so.
For sure.
All right, so T, we want to talk about your career a little bit. You transferred here from Chipotle College, that's how you said?
Correct.
Yeah, and you averaged, 21 points per game, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, and 3 steals. What ultimately led you to come play for Coach Gordon and transfer to FAMU?
I mean, just what y'all said. Y'all naming her accolades, who she even played for, who mentored her, amazing woman. And I also wanted to do pharmacy here, so that was another thing that brought me to FAMU.
Well, we're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
No, seriously. I'm glad that you brought up who brought up Coach, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The immaculate, the legendary Coach Pat Summitt. Could you tell me about your coaching style and what did you choose to take from her? What did you choose to take from your other coaching stops? And what did you say, I'm going to make this, and this is going to be my culture here?
Well, the culture is the sisterhood, what Tahnyjia is talking about. You're talking about bringing young ladies maybe coming from different ways, single-parent homes, double-parent homes, maybe, some disadvantages that they have. Like myself, I come from a single-parent home, and to give them a family figure, to make me be their mother, and use the basketball as a resource and a tool to give them life skills in order for them to survive when they leave me, whether it's after 1 year, 2 years, like Tahnyjia having a sit-out red shirt last year, 3 years. But it's about producing young women to be successful in the real world. That was one thing that Pat prepared me for anything, is that the same way that I approach the game is the same way that I approach life. And that's what I'm telling Tahnyjia. I'm hard on her. And the same way I was with Pat, she is with me. Sometimes we crash, but at the end of the day, we can hug, laugh, and we can talk about it, because she know at the end of the day, it's to prepare her for the real world, especially the world that we live in today. It's nothing easy, especially women of color. And we also, when I brought this culture, it's okay to compliment a woman. Sometimes us as women, we don't want to compliment each other, but empower women. And so that's my job, to empower young people, period. Anybody that I come in, I hope I haven't empowered you guys as young men when you come into my presence, because that's what it's about. I'm just using the game of basketball that I love and I'm passionate about to teach them something too that goes beyond basketball.
Absolutely.
For sure. Now, Tahnyjia, you obviously got a bigger role this year than you had last year. Can you talk about the adjustments you need to make to become a vocal leader for this team and take on like the scoring and passing load?
So my name is Lil Mama, so I don't really think it's been that big of an adjustment. I do feel like every team I've been on, I've always been that leader. So not really a big adjustment there. The only thing is like you say, bringing people from different cultures, different backgrounds, different school, different coaching styles. So just knowing like how to talk to them, how to get through to them, and just being there for them. That's the only adjustment that I had, is knowing them individually as people.
Coach, you brought up your playing days back when you were with Coach Pat, and obviously you've been around basketball for a while, so I want to ask you, what's been the biggest difference that you've noticed from your playing days to now coaching?
Well, just the game itself has changed. I look at when I started as a freshman at the University of Tennessee in 1985, a long time ago, the three-point line wasn't even a part of the game. So we didn't have three-point play. It was an old-fashioned way, go get an and-one. So as we come into the 88 season, the three-point get adopted into the game, then the ball changes. And now you're talking about, I don't know, I grew up watching Michael Jordan and Bad Boys. And I think the game, because of the No Child Left Behind, the participation award, a ribbon, has kind of dummied down the game. I want to say, even as medicine has evolved in the concussion protocols, so maybe the officiating is not the same as it used to be. We went from 2 officials to 3 officials now. Just the game itself has changed a lot. And I would like to pay compliments to my mama, Pat Summit, that she's looking down from heaven, because everything that we did at the University of Tennessee was to grow the game. So the game has grown. So now you don't see the same team winning national championships year after year like what we did, or the run Connecticut was on, or the run that Stanford was on, or the University of Georgia was going to Louisiana Tech, or the Old Dominion. You see the parity in women games, right? You see that some of the bigger fish will come to a small pond and help that team win. So it's just that the game is not where it used to be. And I tell them all the time, if I could have played at HBCU and had the experience and the family atmosphere and being around people that look like me, walk like me, and talk like me, I would have loved it. But at that time, the game wasn't where it's at now. And the platform definitely wasn't there. So what Tahnyjia, Lil Mama and them are experiencing is the blood, sweat, and tears. That's why I don't allow them to cheat the game, because I was a part of those blood, sweat, and tears. I was a part of a rigged SEC and then go and play the Litex and the Texas in the middle of SEC play. So I just want them to appreciate the game and love it and be grateful for the opportunity and the brand here. Oh, this brand is tough. And they realize it, that nobody likes FAMU. Because when we come, I know y'all saw them uniforms, we tight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
they were nice.
We
nice.
come, and ain't just one, but we come. So we classy, you see us, we beautiful, and we very smart. I have 100% graduation rate. I do not play when it comes to academics, and that's what brought Lil Mama here, the nurse in the pharmacy school. So we have a 3.2 GPA right now, and we looking for that to continue to go up. But it's about producing successful women on and off the court.
Well, before we move on, can we just clap it up for 100% graduation rate real quick? That's amazing, man. That's amazing. That's amazing. And also, so just to recap, the game has evolved, but it sounds like it got a little soft. That's
I don't
what
like to
heard.
say that around mine, because when you're talking about soft, you're talking about a young lady that's sitting to my right. There's nothing soft about her game. She's been a fighter because of her size all her life. So her heart, you can't measure her heart, so you can't say her game is nothing soft. Everything about her is hard and it's tough, and she's definitely an extension of me out there on the court. And I let my ladies know I might call a play, but you follow the leader, because even though I'm right there at the edge of the line, I'm not in the fight. And that's one thing that I also learned from Pat. She allowed me to call plays, because when you want to win, it ain't always about you scoring. It's about, like Mama say, knowing the matchups, knowing who need the ball, when they need the ball, and where. So that was to know the study of the game. And her IQ, did I tell you about that? Off the charts. And so that was one thing, too, that separated, and that's what was bringing so much appeal that I like, because usually I like long, lanky athletes like myself, long hands, long fingers, but you can't measure her heart and her toughness. And I'm stuck with her. Ain't no way, and there's no way. It's no better person that I would want being the floor general on the team. And that's what I told y'all last year. This the piece that we was missing last year with last year's team. But we talk about the present right now, and I'm so happy that she's a part of the team.
Coach Gordon, in a press conference tonight, you can also answer this as well. In a press conference, you said this was your most fun coaching the team since you've been here. what makes this team so fun for you to coach, and also tonight, what makes this team different than it has been the other years?
Well, to me, it's just that I spent hours on the phone talking to each one of them. I can actually say that I recruited each one lady on my team right now. Ina was one of the ones that was left over from when I first got here 3 years ago, but everybody that's on the team, I actually recruited them and brought them in. So I knew them in the recruiting process. And it's just like Mom said, it was just to get to know them. And I knew everyone has a story. Y'all don't know that. So I would love for us to have a story that each one of my young ladies have. So I know the tough background that they come from, and my heart goes out from them. Because I'm tough, but they know how to get to my heart. And because I know that, there's a special love that was developed in the recruiting process with them. And they're just fun. If you come around, they fun, each and every one of them. We have our days, and I cannot, and it drives me crazy. I cannot stay mad at them. They back on the bus, and I'm up there trying to be so mad after a tough pause. And by the time we walk in there, I'm like, you want some ice cream? Do you want this? It's just like, it's that mom. It's the cutting part that, you know, they hard not to love. I mean, like I said, because they're not just performing on the court, but they're performing in the classroom as well.
For sure, for sure. Tahnyjia, I gotta ask, it's the elephant in the room, so to speak.
Okay.
You listed at 5 foot,
Right.
but you play a lot bigger than that, at least from what I've seen. So I gotta ask, who did you watch growing up, and who did you tailor your game to be similar to where you could be effective at your side?
I didn't watch too much basketball growing up. I followed my sister. She didn't start playing until 7th grade. I wanted to do gymnastics. Never wanted to play basketball. And my mom told me if I tried out for basketball, then she'll put me back in gymnastics another year. I'm still mad at her about that. And yeah, just watching my sister always, you know how you have an older sister, older brother, you always get compared. So I didn't really go. I just watched her and just wanted to work on my game, shut my parents up. So
Boom, if y'all play it one-on-one right now, what's
Me.
the score?
Oh, okay, wait.
What's the score to 12? What's the score?
Well, she's pregnant right now.
Okay,
So I'm
so
Both of y'all in y'all prime score to 12. Who's winning?
12-0.
I like it.
that's my point guard.
Exactly.
That's my point right there, man. That's my point. So I gotta ask you, Coach, off that Olympic team, did anybody surprise you? Like you probably knew that they was nice, but it was like, oh, hold on.
Well, you know, I'm like Michael and Kobe, like, no, I didn't think. You know, I was one of the youngest ones on the team, myself and Vicky Bullitt. It was a 12-lady roster, and Vicky Bullitt and myself were the only young ladies still in college. Everybody else was like overseas pros, but really wasn't pros. We were still considered amateurs. But I will say, going up against Cheryl Miller in the trials, and she ended up still was coming off that ACL tear. And then just going up against Cynthia Cooper every day in practice, Teresa Edwards, Teresa Weatherspoon. It was like every day I'm battling. So, I mean, I did come off the bench, but I was the 3rd leading scorer. So, hey, I made the team on my defense, and I tell them that all the time. You know, defense is something that's going to get you there, but your offense can take you somewhere else. But your defense put me on the Olympic team, but my offense took me where I needed to go as the 3rd leading scorer. But it didn't matter, and that's what I try to tell my young ladies. When you're a part of a championship team, nobody remembers or recall who made what shots, how many points. All they remember is the championship. I just remember Whitney Houston one moment in time crying and the gold medal being draped. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what it was about.
That's beautiful.
That's powerful right
For
there.
real.
Coach, I want you to talk about a little bit of the emergence of black coaches like yourself, like Don Stair, like Kiera. Like, talk about how you've enjoyed seeing them get bigger jobs.
Well, it's just, I mean, the SEC, I commend them because if you look, the SEC was the conference that had the most African-American women as head coaches. So they done a good job of giving us the ability, because for the longest, we were always put in the role of being the mom to our young ladies of color when we were assistant coaches or associate head coaches or recruiting coordinators. We were the one going out and recruiting the young ladies and not actually having the opportunity to be the head coach and coach them. A lot of AU basketball are males. So now it also gives us the opportunity to be females coaching at this level. As the game continued to grow, I think the more they realize that women of color can manage, because they thought that we could only recruit, that we didn't know X's and O's. We could only play, right? They only looked at us as great players, but as I say, the late, great Pat Summitt always said, I'm just a coach. players make plays. I give them the X's and O's, but players make plays. So it's good that we have finally have the opportunity. The Dawn Staley's, she's leading by example, right? She went on to be the Olympic coach. Now you have Carol Lawson, that's a former Lady Vol, my sister, my younger sister, now at Duke. Now she's the Olympic coach. So just passing the baton on, but it started a long, long time ago. Let's not forget the great Vivian Stringer.
Sure.
And her and Pat Summitt was like sisters. And it was no color boundary, right? And it was so much that Coach Stringer had to fight for. She was my 1992 senior game, as they call it. We won the World Championships and finished third over in Cuba. But it was like, it was nowhere that Coach Stringer would go that I didn't tote a bag for or help her, because that's what we did as young sisters and looking up to her as a mom. So the baton was passed with Coach Stringer passing down that baton to Dawn. You can't forget about Carolyn Peck. She was the first winner of an NCAA championship at Purdue. Went on to coach the Miracles, left the Miracles, and then was the University of Florida head coach. So the baton been passed along, and she's commentating now. So it's great to see, you know, just women of color doing a lot of things on Revive, right? What the WNBA is doing, the W, right? We might not have a season, but they fighting for themselves, because it's bigger than basketball, and they're educated and smart enough to know how to go out and make money on their own. So I'm very, very proud of where the W started, with me being part of the inaugural season in 1997 to where it's at in 2026. So that's just the power of the woman of color. So
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't have too many more questions for y'all, but I got to get this one on. So, and this is to the both of y'all. I'm gonna ask Tahnyjia first, because I think that your response, Coach, might take a little bit longer, because I'm sure you have so many.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask you, what was your welcome to Coach Gordon moment when you first got here and said, "Oh, this is something different"? And Coach, I gotta ask you, what was your welcome to Coach Pat moment?
oh, Lord.
Let Coach go first.
let
me
Coach
think,
go
because
first.
I
Okay.
probably
Let
got
her
too
go
many.
first.
He
Okay.
has a lot,
it's
and,
the other
and that's the same with me. It was so many. When you have a great mother figure, you're going to have so many teaching moments. But my one defining moment was my freshman year. I was a little homesick. I called my mom. It was raining, and we like cheering, like, yeah. We don't have to go outside to run. We used to go on the track on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:45 a.m. and run 7 400s with a minute and 15 seconds in between to rest. So we're thinking like, yes. And she said, go downstairs and put on your rain suits and let's go to the track. And I looked at that woman like, you got to be crazy. But we went, and I called my mom after. I was like, Mom, this woman is crazy. What did you sign me up for? She said, baby, read your Bible. You'll be fine. And she hung up the phone, and I'm thinking like, what kind of mother is that? And to this day, thank my mom every day for hanging up that phone and not allowing me to come home, because that was the easy way out. And that's why I told y'all so many times before, the situation that I accepted to come and be the head coach at Florida A&M, knowing that there wasn't no really history. They only won a 95 and 99 MEAC championship. I was built for it. I can take the pressure. My skin is so tough. It's very, very tough. So words, they don't hurt me. I'm an action woman. I'm a woman that's gonna go after hers, and I'm not gonna back down to anything. One more. Freshman year, right before the Christmas break, she takes us to New York to see a play, and homesick, I'm ready to go home. From New York, we go to Hawaii. We're in the tournament. We get ready to play, and I hear somebody banging on the door. Like, I love CSI movies, and all the time I thought it was the police. I sleep with the TV on. It was after curfew, and I'm like, don't move. Somebody's knocking on the door, right? And I'm like, oh, Lord, I'm in trouble. So she just kept banging, and finally we go to the door, and I answer the door. I say, hey, how you doing, Coach? Don't you talk to me? Yes, ma'am. And she goes on to say, I knew something was wrong with you. And I'm like, ma'am? She said, did I tell you to talk? I said, no, ma'am. She said, I knew something was wrong with you in New York. I said, ma'am? She said, did I tell you to talk? I said, no, ma'am. She said, you have a 0.0 GPA average. I said, that's impossible. She said, did I tell you to talk? I said, no, ma'am. She said, you have a 0.0 GPA average. I'm going to send you home on a raft back to Florida from Hawaii with a slow leak in it. I'm like, a slow leak from Hawaii? She said, did I tell you to talk? I said, no, ma'am. And from that day on, I just learned to handle it. And I knew she was going to be tough on me, but it was for the right reasons.
That sounds like a lady that's gonna get you some
That
championships.
sounds like that's gonna have a ring on your finger
Oh,
soon.
yeah. A lot of rings on your finger.
For sure.
Well, maybe the game is off because Coach ain't did half of that. But probably, what is your rebounding drill called? My freshman or my junior year coming here.
Tennessee rebounding.
I don't even want to say it. Tennessee rebounding. Like y'all say, I'm 5 foot. We got a Jalea Sharp at what?
6'4".
We had Elijah Ellis at
6'2", big
y'all,
body.
Why she got me trying to box him out to go get a rebound, and I couldn't get off until I got 3 stops in a row and scored.
In a row.
Ooh.
In a row. Coach.
She was tough. She did it.
And I'm getting knocked all upside my head. It don't hurt. Get up.
Get up.
Keep going.
Now that impression is solid.
No break. I bet you it was no breaks or none of that.
No breaks.
Water, no nothing.
You couldn't do nothing till you got off. And then you really wasn't doing nothing to your team because now you got to cheer for your teammate. And then we're going twice. Like, this is a cycle. Like, you keep going. Next person up. Next person up.
5 minutes on the clock. Mike need to bring him
No.
Help us with our rebound.
I probably should have
Good
never
one,
brought it up.
good one. Not tomorrow, though.
no.
We got, after we win on Thursday, we take Friday off, and we have 4-day prep. Good one,
I'm
Tanaj.
sorry.
If y'all watching this
man.
team, I'm
Nah,
sorry.
man, y'all come back with the SWAT ring. It's gonna be all worth it.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
gonna be all worth it.
And we're coming straight in here.
Talk about it.
like
Talk about it. Well, that's all I got. What about you, Chris?
That's all I got, man. I appreciate you being able to speak to y'all.
Yeah,
Thank
man,
y'all
we
for
really
having
appreciate
us.
y'all time. Please be sure to come out to the game. Senior night SWAC rivalry game against Bethune-Cookman, 5 o'clock, Al Lawson Center. Be there at B Square, man.
And they know who's gonna win.
We already know.
We already
We
know.
already know. Come in that pressure cooker, you know what time it is, man.
You know it's T.
That's raps.